In this video, you're going to learn why you need to focus on what's in your control as an athlete and exactly how you can do that. Hey there, I'm Eli Straw, mental game coach and the founder of SuccessStartsWithin.com. The reason that you want to focus on what's in your control as an athlete is because of all the negative consequences that happen if you focus too much on what's not in your control. Let's say that you're dealing with performance anxiety as an athlete. This is one of the leading mental game challenges I see when I work with athletes. And the cause of sports performance anxiety is focusing too much on what's going to happen. You're worried about how am I going to play this game? Am I going to make a mistake? Am I going to embarrass myself? Is all of my training not going to be worth it? All of those kinds of thoughts are based on the outcome. And as an athlete, you may think that the outcome is in your control, but really think about all the different things and factors that play into the outcome. The outcome of a game is not fully in your control. The way that you play is in your control, but the outcome isn't in your control. Another example is the fear of failure. Whenever you're dealing with the fear of failure, this is very similar to performance anxiety in that you're worried about what's going to happen. You'll start to fear making a mistake because you might be worried about getting benched. You might be worried about embarrassing yourself. You might be worried about the negative self-talk that you're going to have and how much you're going to tear yourself down for making that mistake. And the reason you start to fear making mistakes is because you're focused too much on those negative consequences. So we start to see why it's so important for you as an athlete to really focus on what's in your control. Now, if the outcome isn't in your control, what is in your control as an athlete? Well, one main thing that's in your control is your thinking. You can choose whether you want to think about the outcome or you can choose whether you want to think more about the process. You can choose whether you want to think negative thoughts or if you want to think more positive thoughts. Something else that's more in your control is your preparation. As an athlete, you don't get to control the outcome, but you can control how prepared you are to play. Something else that's in your control is your focus during games. You get to control what you're focused on, right? Really where your attention is directed. You also get to control your effort, how much effort you're giving to the game, how hard are you playing, how positive you stay, all of that is in your control. So really we can kind of break it down to your mindset, your attitude, and your preparation. Those are the main things that are within your control. And if you focus more on those are going to put you in a better position to get the outcome that you want. But focusing on those things that are in your control isn't the easiest thing to do at all. So one of the things that I recommend you doing is starting to set performance objectives. Performance objectives are a way that you can really train yourself to focus more on what's in your control. Because performance objectives are targets that you set that you want to focus on during games. And the thing about these performance objectives that is so important is that they are 100% in your control. You're not going to set a performance objective to get 3 hits today, and you're not going to set a performance objective to score 25 points. You're going to set a performance objective that's part of the process that you can control, that's going to put you in the best position to perform your best. So whenever you're setting performance objectives for a game, I really encourage you to set them in terms of your mental objective. Because if you're struggling with focusing on what's not in your control versus focusing on what's in your control, you really want to pay attention to your attitude and your mindset. So set a performance objective that's going to be based on your attitude and mindset. What kind of mindset do you want to be in? How do you want to feel? What do you want your attitude to be like while you perform? Another way that you can work on focusing more on what's in your control is by using a pregame routine. A pregame routine is going to take care of that preparation part of what's in your control. So put a pregame routine in place where you're getting yourself, as warmed up as you need to be physically and where you're also getting yourself into the right mindset. And that then ties into your performance objectives because if you set your performance objective to be getting into this certain state when you perform, you can use your pregame routine to help you get into that state. So I've put 2 links in the description below. One of them is a video that goes into more detail on performance objectives, and the other one is a video that goes into more detail on mentally preparing for competition. So the bottom line is if you're an athlete, you want to be focusing on what's in your control instead of what's not in your control. If you have any questions on this video or any other sports psychology topic, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I wish you the best of success in all that you do.